Hi everyone, I am very happy, excited. I can't believe it's already been a week since my son has started eating a meat-based diet, mainly carnivore with a couple of ketovore days in there, to see what would happen to his symptoms of ADHD. If you didn't see my initial video about this, I did a whole discussion about his ADHD symptoms, how it's been hard for him, what he specifically struggled with, and things like that. So if you're curious about that, go back and watch that video to get the background on it. But basically today is day 7. And go ahead and watch this video to the end, because at the end, I've got what he ate for the week. Now, I will say there were some days, like I had a live stream going on or things like that, so I didn't get every single meal. I missed a few dinners. If I missed a dinner, a lot of times it was those carnivore pizza pockets that he likes. I think one day I got his empty plate in there after he ate something, but yeah, when I'm live streaming and he's sort of heating up his own food, he's 15 years old, so he does that regularly if I'm busy. For example, I'll say that today I was actually live streaming in the morning because it's a Saturday and I had promised to make him some pancakes, but I was live streaming, and so I made the pancakes a little later on in the day. He came out and sort of got himself a snack of some pepperoni and some cheese. And so I was live streaming, I watched him do it, but yeah, that didn't make it on the video. Generally speaking though, he doesn't snack, so if it wasn't on the video, he probably didn't eat it, with the exception of maybe the desserts. So what I did was I made some carnivore ice cream. Well, ketovore, I guess it does have a little sweetener. But yeah, the first batch was kind of a fail, so the second batch we just sort of let it melt, and he drank that like that. It was melted but not all the way, and he drank it kind of as a milkshake for a few nights, and I didn't really get that on video either. But I am trying to replace, each day he gets a little something, dessert like. One night I made him some whipped cream, just with some heavy cream. I just whipped it up with a little sweetener. I'm using allulose, by the way, for the sweetener, and a little bit of vanilla. So he really liked that. So just a few bites, like maybe 4 or 5, just bites of whipped cream, 3 tablespoons of whipped cream, or heavy cream whipped up into whipped cream. Today I'm very excited. I made another batch of ice cream. I think I know what the problem was. We're gonna see if that works out for him. At any rate, mainly his breakfast and lunches I did get. So stay tuned till the end to see, throughout the week what he was eating. But the purpose of this sit down chat here is to let you know how he did throughout the week, because he's a little shy. He doesn't really want to be on camera. So I will tell you kind of how it went. I was very, a little nervous, to see, was he going to have adaptation symptoms? Was he going to end up with diarrhea on the toilet, some of these things, keto flu, some of these things that those of us eating this way have experienced. So I was kind of, on the lookout, watching out for that as the week went on. But I didn't really notice anything like that right away. I will say, I don't remember which day it was, but about halfway through, I kind of asked him how it was going, and he said, it's going fine, but I had one little oopsie. And I said, oh, what was that? And he said, in class, one of his teachers had given him a sucker, like a lollipop sucker, for a right answer. And before he even thought about it, he just took the wrapper off and popped it in his mouth. And then he said, but then he was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be eating this. So he took that sucker out of his mouth and he threw it in the trash. And I was just like, wow, like that took some maturity and some self-control right there. So I was super, super happy that he was able to have that much control. He didn't say, oh, I'll just finish the sucker and whatever. And he told me about it, right? So that was super cool. So that was the one thing that happened this week that was not on plan. So he got a little bit of sugar that day. Then on Friday in the morning, I went in his room to go tell him I was, headed out to work. And he said that his tummy wasn't feeling too great. And he asked if he could stay home from school. I was trying to nail it down, like, is it diarrhea? Because I was thinking, right, those adaptation symptoms. And he said, not really, I'm not sure. I might throw up, I don't feel well. But by the end of the day, like, I went to work, I texted him a couple times throughout the day. He didn't have any manifestations. He didn't end up in the bathroom, nothing happened. And then by the end of the day, he said he was feeling better. So I'm not sure what that was. And that was it. Those were like basically the two major events. He ate his food. We found out he doesn't like turkey. I knew he didn't like turkey, like Thanksgiving turkey. Like, I knew he didn't like that, but I thought maybe some lunch meat turkey. You'll see later in the video that shows what he ate. I did some turkey roll-ups at one point. Yeah, he said he ate them, which again, that's a win that he ate them anyway. He didn't go find something carby from the cafeteria, because the school cafeteria is free and he can go get that food at any time. And he didn't do that. He went ahead and ate what I made him, even though he didn't like it. So again, maturity, right? And took responsibility for his eating. So I didn't do any more turkey, and I won't. So today I said, today I was making some, well, it turned out to be more like lunch, breakfast for lunch today. And we got to talking. I was showing him how I make what I made, and you'll see that at the end here. But I said, so how did it go? Like, what did you notice? And he said, I've noticed that I've been actually able to be very productive this week, most specifically at home. So for example, his room, generally his whole life, 99.9% of the time, has looked like a tornado went through, and everything he owns is not in the closet, not in the drawer, not anywhere, but in the middle of the room, in the perimeter of the room. Every corner has a pile. Under the bed is full. And it's been very, I'm just stopped trying to die on that hill, right? But like, of his own volition, he went through all of that stuff throughout the week, and he got it cleaned up. He got trash thrown away, which is huge for him. He's always been a bit of a pack rat. I remember trying to get him to sort of pare back, like a few times when he was little, before Christmas, when I knew he was going to be getting some new things. I would say, let's go through your stuff and sort of pare it back, make room for your new things. And he just didn't want to throw anything away. He said it wasn't an issue to throw things away when he knew that he didn't need them anymore, or they were legitimately, trash. And then his other items that he hasn't found a place for yet, he organized them into categories and kind of bagged them up. Like, he put them into bags in categories and set them aside. And I'm not kidding. He said, now I'm thinking about how I can go through those, organize them, and find places for them. Okay, if you don't have a child with ADHD or have ADHD yourself, you don't know how big that is. Like, a big task like that with multiple steps seems totally overwhelming. And, he would just ignore it and not do it. And even if I went in there and did it, I would get very little help. Like, I would try to engage him and say, okay, mom's going to help you. And he wouldn't really engage with the task. I would end up doing most of the work, and he would sort of pretend like he was, doing it. But I'm telling you, he did it by himself, and he had bags of trash out there by the sliding glass door, and then he took them all out to the big dumpster. Amazing. So that's one thing that happened. So another thing that he did was he had all these sort of broken pieces of technology in his room, just various things where, parts work and parts don't. Like, he has a Chromebook that will still turn on. In the background, he can tell that it's working. He knows a lot about computers. I don't know how he can tell that, but he could tell that. But like, the screen doesn't work. But like, the processor is still going and things are happening, but the display doesn't work. Stuff like that. And he's actually in the process, and has been for about a year now, of saving up money to buy himself a new computer, but he doesn't have it yet. And so he took, like throughout this week of this way of eating, he took all of his pieces of technology, sort of hooked it together. He used an Amazon gift card that he had to purchase some cables and whatever. I don't know. I'm not a tech person, you guys. He is. Anyways, cables and wires and whatever. And he cobbled all of his different tech together to make like a working system, that he can use in his room that's actually at his desk and organized and neat, like after he cleaned his desk off. And he said, normally, this is from his mouth. He said, normally what I would do is just like watch YouTube on my phone and just be lazy. And he said, but I didn't feel lazy this week. I felt like energy to go ahead and get it done. And then I did it. Like that happened. So then I said, well, what about school, right? So he says he has not really noticed a difference at school. So I think that might be chalked up to A, it's only been a week, and B, nobody pretty much likes school. I mean, except maybe me, I'm a teacher. And even sometimes I don't like school, right? So, we're going to keep going. My thoughts back at him were, wow, it seems like this way of eating is really worth it to you, even if it doesn't end up helping with school. I said, I think it probably will end up helping with school if you give it more time. But like, even if it doesn't, if you feel less lazy and more productive and look at all the stuff you got done, and he said he was able to think through the situation clearly and reason it out, and it didn't seem like overwhelming to him, and that was just huge. So I said, it seems like this way of eating is totally worth it to you, to have a brain that works like how it's worked this week, able to process, able to think, not feeling sluggish, lethargic, and lazy, as opposed to, well, I'm just going to pretend like all these tasks don't exist and just watch YouTube on my phone. So I thought that was just absolutely fantastic. I am so happy with the way things went this week. I will continue to vlog it out I'm not the best with vlogs, you guys, but I'm going to continue to vlog it out over the next, a little bit more than 3 weeks that we have. He agreed to do this for 30 days. We have some challenging situations coming up this week, so stay tuned for those. I'll let you know what those are and how we handle them in the next one. All right, I'm gonna let you go and enjoy a 15-year-old boy's week of eating on a carnivore/ketovore diet to help with ADHD. And I'm gonna go meet some wellness, one happy mom at a time.
Okay, this delicious bowl of food is the beginning of day 2 for my son. Going on a carnivore/ketovore diet to see if it helps his ADHD. This particular bowl of food is some of that sausage that I cooked up yesterday. I left all the fat in it, so I just put that in to the pan, warmed it up, and then I put 3 eggs and maybe a teaspoon of butter just to make sure there was enough fat so the eggs didn't stick. Additionally, I have made these carnivore crepes. I'm going to see how many he might want on the side. There are 3 of them, 2 a bit smaller and 1 giant one. These are just made with cream cheese, an egg, and about a half a scoop of the Vanilla Equip Prime Protein. Whatever he doesn't eat for breakfast, I'm going to pack in his lunch today. So here's what that final breakfast looks like. I just rolled up a crepe and stuck it on top, and then about, 4 to 6 ounces of whole milk. Speaking of lunch, I've already packed. This is one of those Teton, very clean grass-fed beef sausages that I cut into bite-sized pieces. There are 2 slices of mozzarella cheese and about 7 pepperoni slices in there. So I think between that and the crepes and a couple bottles of water, he should be good to go. Fingers crossed, everybody. I will make him some dinner later tonight, and we'll find out what that is later. So clearly this is his plate after he got finished. It was 2 slices of picanha. I was at jury duty for 9 hours, and my husband heated up the last 2 slices of picanha. And as you can see, he ate most of it. It was delicious. This is a little bit in reverse order because I'm packing my son's lunch before I make him breakfast, but these are some turkey roll-ups. Each one is 2 slices of turkey. This is a little slice of Colby Jack cheese, and all I'm doing is rolling that cheese up inside the turkey, and I will pack 4 of those for his lunch, as well as, I don't really know yet, but a few slices of pepperoni. Alright, so I've cooked up his breakfast. This is his egg and sausage with a little bit of Colby Jack cheese bowl. There's also about a half a tablespoon of butter in there, and about, I don't know, 4 to 6 ounces of whole milk. So this is what he'll be having for breakfast. Later I'll be making dinner, and I'll let you guys know what that is. I think it's going to be a good one. Okay, we're up to day 4. Same breakfast as usual. 3 eggs with a little bit of sausage and some Colby Jack cheese melted in, and a little bit of milk. Maybe about 4 to 6 ounces. Now, I will say last night I did not get his dinner because I had a live stream. The same thing might happen tonight, but I had cooked up some chicken thighs in the air fryer. He had 2 chicken thighs that had been brushed in bacon fat and air fried. He enjoyed those, and then he had a little bit of, since the ice cream was a failure, we figure if we just melt it a little bit instead of trying to spin it in the creamy, it kind of makes a milkshake. So he had a little bit of that, maybe 4 ounces of that. So that was dinner and a little bit of dessert last night. And this will be his lunch today. So I just finished cutting this up, hence the cutting board and knife. I'm just going to put this in a little baggie. He can take it to school. So 2 slices of mozzarella cheese. In between is about 8 slices of pepperoni. And this is one of those Teton all beef. I think I have the it doesn't have the packaging anymore, the outer thing that tells what it is. But it's 100% grass-fed beef. Very clean little sausages, hot dogs, whatever you want to call them. He really likes those. So I think this will be a winner of a lunch for him. I probably will not be able to film his dinner tonight because, again, I have a live stream. But it's going to be, I think, one of those leftover chicken thighs, and I had also made up some country-style pork ribs that I plan on. They're just in the fridge, and he can just heat it up. So he was probably going to have like a rib and a chicken thigh. But I'll let you know what he decides on. So you guys have a great day. This is day 4. So far, so good. Okay, this is day 5 of a ketogenic diet / ketovore diet to see if it will help my son with his ADHD symptoms. These are protein crepes. This is his breakfast today. They're made with eggs and cream cheese, and then some of the Equip Prime protein, vanilla. So, and then they're cooked in butter. No toppings required. These are delicious, as is. The butter kind of soaks into them and makes them super yummy. This is also what I ate for breakfast. It was a nice change. And I'm super satiated and ready to go to work. I think there's about 6 of them here, but if he doesn't eat them all, he can always save some for later. Speaking of saving some for later, this is going to be his lunch today. So I put 2 of those crepes in a little baggie for him. This is one of those Teton sausages cut up. There is some Colby Jack cheese slices and a few slices of pepperoni. Dinner last night was indeed 1 chicken thigh and 1 country-style pork rib, but true to form, I was on a live stream and couldn't film it. He sort of heated it up for himself. I'm guessing dinner tonight will be carnivore pizza pockets, but we shall see. Alright, this is breakfast and lunch on day 5. Alright, I actually had time to film dinner tonight. This is 2 ketovore pizza pockets. It's a mozzarella cheese slice topped with 5 or 6 pepperoni slices, a scoop of already cooked sausage. This I think is just breakfast sausage because they were out of Italian sausage at the store. A scoop of the Rao's marinara topped with another mozzarella slice. You put those on a parchment paper on a baking sheet, 350 degrees for about 5 minutes, and this is what you get. And then for dessert, I made him a little, it's like a ketovore cheesecake. So this is cream cheese, this is a little bit of vanilla, this is a little bit of heavy cream, a little bit of sour cream, and then a little bit of sweetener in there. So, yeah, like, sugar-free sweetener for him. We're not trying to get him off of all that stuff. We just want him to not crave the sweets so much that he goes back to it. And this is a substitute that I'm absolutely okay with. And so that's what he's going to have for dinner tonight. I think he'll enjoy it. Breakfast on day 6. We are back to 3 eggs, an ounce or 2 of some sausage, and a little bit of Colby Jack cheese for breakfast. I'm going to be opening this package. I wanted to show it to you guys. So these are the cooked, uncured Polish sausages that he's been enjoying at lunchtime. 100% grass-fed and pasture-raised beef, no antibiotics. And here is the nutrition facts on those. So as you can see, it's 15 grams of fat, no carbs, and 10 grams of protein. And here's the ingredients. So we've got grass-fed beef, water, less than 2% of the following: sea salt, vinegar, spices, including paprika, cultured celery powder, garlic powder, and cherry powder. When I have this voice with my phone on, Pixel thinks it's about her. She was asleep. Now she's... So for lunch today, yes, he's going to have one of these sliced up. He's going to have some Colby Jack cheese slices and a few pepperoni slices. So for dinner tonight, we're going to try something new, so stay tuned for that.
Okay, here is my son's, was going to be breakfast on Saturday, but it's 1 p.m. here, and we're just getting these protein pancakes made because he slept in a little bit, and then I had a live with Carnivorous Grandma. Hi, Robin, if you're watching. That was a fun live today that we did, cooking and eating a steak together. But anyway, I am now making these protein pancakes, and Zach's comment was that they look like actual real pancakes. So the ingredients here is a little bit of cream cheese, the Equip Prime protein powder, some beef gelatins, and some eggs, and a little bit of baking powder. And look what we get. I'm cooking these in butter, and these are going to be delicious. All right, everybody, this is the last dinner of week 1. Yes, pizza pockets again. The boy does not get sick of them. There's no sausage in these, though, because I ran out. I have to cook up another pound, but that pound lasted me almost the whole week between the eggs and the pizza pockets. It was great. And a little bit of milk. Tomorrow there will be beef. So stay tuned for that. I really hope you've enjoyed this week of eating. I appreciate you watching. If you've enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe and keep following his journey of 30 days of eating a ketogenic lifestyle to try to improve his ADHD. Guys, I think it's helping.